All right. Good evening. Good evening, Royal We family. How are you? Hi, guys. We're going to go ahead and give you guys just a few seconds for people to jump on board. Hi, Tanya. How are you? Happy Friday. Hope you guys are doing well this Friday night. I'm going to finish making a couple of connections here. Make sure that everything's plugged in correctly while I wait for a few more people to sign on here. I hope you guys are having a good Friday night. I hope your week has been really good. And I'm looking forward to the phone calls tonight and find out what you guys are going to be doing this weekend and what your plans are and how you guys are processing everything. Hi, Peace Joy. Hi, Kim. How are you? It's Friday night, so, you know, typically people do things on Fridays. Maybe go out with friends. So I would not be surprised if Friday is less people than usual. And but for anybody who is here, that's an amazing thing that you're here on a Friday. It, like I said before, it says that you are serious about your healing, and you want to be in a place where you're receiving some good healing. Hey, Blue, what's up? Party people. Yeah, right on. Hi, Darla. There everybody is. Hi, D-Dow. Hello. All right, guys. It's about 3 minutes after 10 o'clock, so I got started a little bit later than I wanted to. I'd like to start sharply right at 10 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. And so we're going to go ahead and just jump right into it. And like always, I'm going to go ahead and let you know what's going on. For those of you who are new to the Royal We Live, you are welcome to contact me at any time throughout the show. The telephone number scrolling at the bottom of the screen for those of you joining the Royal We Live on YouTube right now. So pick up the phone and make that phone call, and keep in mind that you will be live. So you will need to filter your words accordingly, and you can also remain anonymous. You don't have to use your name. You don't have to use anybody's name in the situation. Now, it's good to make that phone call. It's healing for you to be able to talk and articulate what's going on in your personal experience. Narcissistic abuse is something that is difficult to talk about. Everybody here in the community understands this. And so there's a great community here. They're going to be here for you. So there's a lot of chats going on. There's a lot of people in the community that will talk to you, pray for you, whatever it is that you need in your current situation. And so if you don't get on the phone call tonight, just know that people in the community will be there for you as well. All right. Speaking of the community, I am in the process of putting moderators together. I'm going to do that this weekend. So for those of you who have volunteered and sent me an email at jointheroyalwe@gmail.com, I will be contacting you and emailing you this weekend, and we'll go over some of the things I'm looking for the moderators. You know, basic, simple stuff, just that you've been following the Royal We for a certain length of time. You're familiar with the videos and the concepts and the ideas and the heart behind the Royal We. That's primarily the thing. And then secondly, also, you need to have the heart for people who are going through what you have been through when it comes to narcissistic abuse. All right, guys. With that out of the way, and also just a reminder for those of you who are new, there is a course, a Royal We course available. You can find out more about the Royal We course by clicking the link in the description box, either now or after the live stream. You can find out about the Royal We course there for some deep healing and understanding and acceptance of a narcissistic abuse. All right, guys, before we get into the phone calls, I want to put out the warning. As always, viewer discretion is advised. We are going to be talking about narcissistic abuse. We will be talking about issues that have to do with domestic violence. And so viewer discretion is advised. There also may be some sexually explicit conversations. Just so we put that out there, 18 plus content, guys. And with that, let's go ahead and open up the phone lines. I'll go ahead and open up the phone line right now. Like I said, the phone number is scrolling at the bottom of the screen. So you're welcome to contact those of you who are thinking about calling. You're not sure if you want to make that phone call. I encourage you to do so. It might be just what you need to help get you through the night, get you through the weekend. So I would encourage you to make that phone call. And until we get a phone call, I do want to look at some more text questions, because we do have a lot of those, have a lot of text questions that come in. So let's go ahead and read this text question together. And this came in the other day. It says, "Hi there, my name is Carrie Lynn, and I recently discovered your YouTube videos on narcissism. I am actually going through a smear campaign as we speak, but it's from my boyfriend's ex-wife. She is causing a lot of trouble for me and even went as far as trying to get me fired from my job. I would love to speak with you to gain some insight on how to handle this the right way and not feed into her game." So the question has to do with this individual who is with somebody, and she's actually in the process of being in a smear campaign from the boyfriend's ex-wife. So this person who wrote this text is dealing with the ex-wife. My initial response to this would just be, this should not be your issue whatsoever. You should have no communication, no contact whatsoever with the ex-wife at all. This is 100% your husband's issue. Okay? This is going to be your husband's issue. And so I would encourage you to kindly, in any way you can, speak to your husband and let him know that there are things going on with the ex-wife that you should not be involved in. You should not be in any contact with her. He needs to deal with that, right? Don't allow her to manipulate you in any way, shape, and form. And secondly, I would caution you, find out from your husband why. What is going on? If your husband has done a good job of blocking her out of his life and has practiced going no contact, then she shouldn't be an issue on your life, okay? And there's other things too, that the fact that she got you fired from a job, I'm not sure how exactly that can happen unless she knows people you work with or she's somehow connected to the job. That's something that I don't quite understand how that can happen. But I would just, like I said, do what you can to put up the boundaries and the roadblocks in front of you. Keep doing what you're supposed to be doing. Do your work, do your job. Don't engage with the ex-wife whatsoever for any reason, right? It's none of your business. Your husband should be dealing with that, okay? And so that's all I have on that one. It sounds like it would be a very difficult situation to be involved in, and you may even feel like in some ways you might still be fighting for maybe your husband. I don't know, but you shouldn't be feeling that way, right? If your husband has actually left that situation, then he should be 100% with you, and he should be working with you on a way to stop that from happening. Okay. So it sounds to me like you have a lot of discussion and talking to do with your husband, not with the ex-wife. All right. And I hope to hear back from you in another text and follow up, and we'll see where that goes. All right. And I'll go ahead and put I'll put the phone number back up there. And so you're welcome to contact at any time. And again, guys, I know that for those of you who are on the fence about calling, I encourage you to make that phone call. I can't say it enough. And it's healing. It's healing for you. And let's go ahead and answer another question. We have another text question we'll jump into while we're waiting for somebody to make the decision to go ahead and make that phone call tonight. All right. Let me get this question up here. And every time I switch over the transition, it gets rid of the phone number. So hopefully somebody will catch that phone number, include it in the chat area in case somebody's wanting to know how they can go ahead and make that phone call. I've seen that pop up on the chat. What's the phone number? What's the phone number? Because every time I switch the scene, the phone number disappears. So if somebody's got that and put that on, that would be great. Okay. So let's see. This text question says, here we go. We'll read this. Dear Kevin, I'm Regina, and I would like to know if I need to tell him I'm breaking up with him or just go no contact. Thank you so much in advance for using scripture for your sound reasoning. Thank you for your encouragement on using scripture. One of the things, first of all, just to mention this, I do like to use scripture. But I want to do it in a way where I don't isolate people, because I understand that not everybody who is a follower on the royal we, not everybody who experiences narcissistic abuse is going to be somebody who looks to the Bible for answers. And hopefully I can help to shed some light on how the Bible can help them in the situation without isolating them. I've had the opportunity to talk to Muslims and all kinds of people in all walks of life when it comes to narcissistic abuse, because what we're dealing with, the one thing in common, is that abuse is abuse is abuse, right? And at that level, when abuse is setting in, it doesn't matter what the uh, you know the religious background is or what the faith-based background is. The person is hurting as a result of the evil in the world, the abuse that exists in the world. And that's what I want to tackle. The Bible has a lot to say about it, guys. It really does. And so it's good to be able to talk about it. It's good to be able to talk about scriptures. It's good to be able to look at what the Bible really has to say about the world we live in, about relationships, about the evil, the abusive nature, humanity. So there's a lot there. Okay. So thank you for your encouragement, because that's something that I like to do carefully. And it's something that I want to do more of. Right. So thank you, Regina. I appreciate that. Now for the question, it says, I'd like to know if I should tell him I'm breaking up with him or just go no contact. And this is a common question a lot of people want to know, and this is something that I struggled with myself. And this is that whole thing about, do we need to let the narcissist know that they're narcissists? Do we need to let them know how horrible they are? Therefore, we are going to get away from them, and that's the reason. And my answer to this is no. You don't have to make an announcement. It's better off if you don't, right? It's better off if you don't make an announcement. I made a video titled Walk, Don't Run from Narcissistic Abuse. In that video, I talk about just slowly getting out of the relationship. It's better to just say things like, this isn't working, because it's not working. It's abusive. This is not working. This is not what I want in a relationship. This is far better than saying, I'm breaking up with you. I'm going no contact with you because you are a narcissist and you're crazy, and all the things we want to say. And you call me names, and you do this, and that's what we want to do. We want to give them the reason. But I challenge you to think about this. The reason you want to give a reason and announce you're breaking up, if you're honest, it's because you're holding on to this slight bit of hope that if you do that, if you come out and say, hey, I'm breaking up with you because you are a narcissist, because you can't stop calling me names. The reason you want to do this is because you want to have that hope that they will somehow humble themselves, right? And say, you're right. I'm sorry. And that's the real reason why you want to make an announcement. Okay. And so it's better and we got a phone call from Alberta. So 1 second, I'm just going to finish
Yeah,
my thought, okay? And so it's better, right, to not want and not expect and let go of that hope that they're going to humble down. You've been in the relationship long enough to know that they're not going to. So at this point in time, no announcement is needed. It is simply, I'm at a different place. I'm not going to be around the negativity. I'm not going to be around the toxicity, the name calling, the yelling, the screaming, the cussing, the violence. This stuff, it's not what I want in my life. I don't feel safe. I'm gone, right? You don't have to make an announcement about it. You just let your actions do the talking. And as they keep coming and they keep asking you, saying, let's go out, the answer is no. I'm trying to do something else with my life. No. They're going to throw fits and rages and this and that. Let them. No. The answer is no. I don't want this in my life. I don't want this fit in my life. No. Okay. That's all you have to do with that. So let's go ahead and take this phone call from Alberta. Thank you for calling. You're live on the Royal We.
yeah. I have a problem with my brother. He's a little bit narcissist,
Mm-hmm.
and he keep bullying me, and I don't know what to do.
How old is your brother? How old are you and your brother, if you don't mind my asking?
I'm 25, and he's 20.
Okay. Do you guys live together?
Yeah.
You're in the same house? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the biggest issue here is going to be the fact that you guys are living together. You're 25, he's 20. You're at that age, you're getting there to where you are probably in a place where you should be in a place to where you're getting ready to get out and get on your own. Are you guys both living with your parents right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So typically with abusive narcissists, the reason they fight, the reason they get angry, the reason they put you down is because they want that status, they want some kind of control, especially in the household, right? You see this a lot
Yeah.
with little kids too. You know, even I have
Yeah.
children, I have babies, they fight each other for their toys and this and that. And so I imagine you guys have had this dynamic in this relationship. It doesn't quite go away. Now, when you're in your 20, when you're 20, 25, 30, you're still in that same environment. It's only going to get
Yeah.
worse. It's going to get a lot worse
Yeah.
as you both are fighting
Yeah.
for some kind of seniority in the house, right? The reality is
Yeah.
that you need to get out of that house and you need to find your own life. This is the only thing that's going to solve this. Find your own life, seek for your own family, search for your family, right? And which is not your brother. Your brother's a sibling, and I know this is counterculture, you know, this whole cultural thing of, well, blood is, that's what it is, man, and blood first
Yeah.
and this and that. And
Yeah.
you know, there's a lot of
And it,
people that do that. Okay, but that's not what I believe. That's not what the Bible says. The Bible says, therefore,
yeah.
a man is to leave his mom and dad. Oh, and his brothers and sisters, by the way, right? And cleave
Yeah.
to his spouse. And that's where unification is. You know, the family dynamic, as far as siblings, brothers, sisters, moms, dad, children, uh, that was never intended. Nowhere was that intended to be a unification. And that's what some cultures and some culture ideas have brought it to, this idea of that's where unification. And this is where you get into where moms, they can't let go of their kids, and the moms end up hating their sons' wives, and they end up fighting. You know what I mean? And the kids can't let, they treat their mom.
Yeah.
There's men that treat their mom better than their own wife. This should not be
Let me
happening.
tell you this.
This should not be
Yeah. Let
happening.
me tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know.
It's terrible. In fact, if when
Yeah.
I do a dating
Yeah.
when I do a dating video for women, one of the things I'm going to include in this is that if you are dating a man who is still stuck on his mom, run. And when I say stuck, I mean bending over, hand and foot, attached, not leaving, not doing, you know what I mean? When mom is number one still in the man's life, run. I know that a lot of cultures says, "Oh, wow, his relationship with his mom is amazing. That means he's going to be a good husband." No, that means you are
Yeah.
probably going to be a rival for the mom. Mom is going to do
Mm-hmm.
everything she can to destroy you because you are the woman that is about to take her son away. So it's a good thing to be mindful of that. You want a man that's standing on his 2 feet, that understands that he needs to honor his mom, but that's it. That's the extent of that relationship.
Yeah.
Honor thy mother and father.
And
That's the extent of it. But do not be attached to him. My advice to you, man, is do not be attached to your brother. You can honor your brother. You can be kind to your brother, but do not be attached to your brother. Separate yourself emotionally.
I want.
He's going to come after you, trying to fight for some kind of superiority. Say, you know what?
Yeah.
You can be the man of this house now because I am going on to live my life elsewhere. Right?
Yeah. And there's another thing. My girlfriend, it's like left me with another guy,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of like make my life a little bit more difficult than usual.
Your girlfriend?
Yeah.
She's making your life more difficult?
Yeah. Like she left another guy.
She left with another guy?
Mhm.
Okay. Well, I would not be calling her a girlfriend anymore. I mean, not like that anyways, you know. Um it's difficult,
No,
but obviously she's
I
not
will. Yeah.
obviously she doesn't consider you her boyfriend if she's with another guy, right? So I would encourage you, right, not to be involved in this one-way relationship. where you're calling her your girlfriend, but
Uh,
she's calling you maybe one out of one boyfriend, one out of two or three or five or however many she has. And you probably don't want to get wrapped up with
yeah,
someone like that.
totally. Yeah, yeah.
So,
And I tried to move out somewhere,
hmm
but it's too expensive. In Canada, it's like so expensive.
it can be.
You won't believe the rent.
I know.
The rent is like 2,000 for one apartment.
I hear you, man. I hear you. I had to get out of California for that same reason. So there's always something that you can do. There's always a way. You can make it if you really want to. Right? I've been there. I know what you're talking about. It's scary to try to make a living, but you can get out of where you're at
Yeah,
if you really want to. You can find a place where you can afford. And that's what it takes. It takes you having the will to find a place where you can settle. Okay. And things
yeah.
will open
I
up
used to
for you.
be, I,
So,
yeah, I
oh,
used to be homeless
mm-hmm.
for 6 months, and I moved back. I moved back with my family,
Mm-hmm.
and when I moved back, my brother started kind of coming attack and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I went up and I went somewhere to find like something, but he told me it's like around 1,500. I was only making $500 a month,
Yeah. It's rough,
and
man.
it's like hard. And
Right.
I
Right.
guess I have to go
Right.
somewhere.
Yeah. Well, we'll definitely be praying for you, and I thank you for calling. There's people here in the community, that you can chat with as well. They probably have a lot of ideas for you as far as being able to get on your own 2 feet. So thank you for calling. I appreciate it,
Yeah.
and have a great
Have a
night.
nice day.
You too. Bye.
And make sure you love your kids. All right.
Amen. Right on. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, guys, and that was an excellent phone call. And there's a lot of things that were going on there. That sometimes it's not just the issue of dealing with narcissistic abuse, but there's a lot. Sometimes when you're back at it, living at home, for example, when you probably should be out, and all of a sudden you're put back in the situation with mom and with dad. It can be real rough with brothers. You're on live on the Royal We. Thank you for calling.
Hi.
Hi.
My name is Kimmy Lynn, and I just wanted to first tell you that you have definitely contributed to my survival in the last 4 months. So thank you so much for all that you do,
Thank
and thank
you.
you for the way to do it. Absolutely. Um, so this February 8th would have been my 18th anniversary,
Okay.
and I am at 120 days plus no contact. He hovered me for a year, and I stopped that hovering on September 20th or so. So throughout that period, it has been really, really rough, and I've gotten through like the darkest part of it, and I've come through on the other side. But one of the things that I've always wanted to do, because my life became excruciating when I moved to San Antonio. I feel like I'm so perfectly lined up with all of the very specifics that go with the covert narcissist. Okay, check that box, check that box. I mean, they all perfectly check.
Mm-hmm.
And I came from a life that was really, really good, got everything sucked out of me, and it became hell. And because it was such a harsh, cruel situation coming all these years, 12 years ago, I began recording everything because, as you know, you feel like you're going insane. You feel
Right.
like you've lost your mind.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point in time, just, 6 years ago, he accused me of, oh, you have borderline personality disorder. And of course, being somebody who's very, very interested in themselves, I
Right.
went back and go to a therapist and get cognitive behavioral therapy, and they're like, no, Kimmy, you don't have that at all. That's not even where you're at. And so but to get to that point, you go through so much psychological and emotional abuse that you develop symptoms that are similar, and it's been very traumatic. And so what I would like to do to assist myself in this, and a little bit of cathartic therapy for myself, is do something to help somebody else with over 275 recordings of the most perfect examples of narcissistic abuse that you can imagine. I feel like God has brought me on this journey for a reason. And I feel like the fact that, it was very interesting because I had started to really, really get my life together and, get my winnings, and things were going really, really amazing. And of course I have to do all of these things to, make myself better for the narcissist. And I'm doing all of these things. And I tell him, I said, and you know what? I'm feeling like I'm in a place where I really want to start writing that book about the relationship that I had with your family. And this is, of course, before I even recognized the narcissistic family cult even existed. I just knew that it had been such a bizarre experience that I really wanted to write about it. And that, of course, was just before the discard. So I mentioned doing that, and then the discard happens, and I'm thinking, oh, but I'm doing so good, and business is good, and my health is amazing, and this is great, and then the discard happens. But I would really like to be able to facilitate an opportunity, and I don't know if it's a book. It feels kind of cliche, and I just have what I would consider probably a treasure trove of authentic examples, even sitting down and trying to have a meaningful conversation with a narcissistic family cult with the whole family there, and we're sitting there having a conversation, and their answers are exactly what you would expect to hear.
So is that what you want to do? You want to sit down with the family, and I mean, is that what you're saying?
I would like some ideas on how to best present the information, because you have been such an amazing help for me, and joining some of the narcissistic abuse support groups. You see these things, tell your story, it will help somebody else.
Right.
And now, especially, I feel like before I just wanted to write it because it had been such a bizarre experience, but now I know that I've had this experience with them for a reason. And I don't know if it's because 12 years ago, like Kevin, I started recording every counseling session.
Right.
We even tried to get the narcissistic mother to go to the counselor, and she showed up by herself and says, I don't even know why I'm here. Everything is great. And blew the counselor's mind. But,
Typically, people do get into a habit of recording. I mean, we live in the day and age where you can do that. You can set cameras up anywhere and everywhere, and you can record the conversations, you can record the counseling sessions, and a lot of times people encourage that type of stuff with abusive narcissists or sociopaths or psychopaths, so that you can have protection, right? In some way, shape, or form. So this is the first time where I've heard somebody wants to use that as a way to reach out and help people. I would encourage you. I mean, if that's what you're looking for is encouragement, absolutely. I would encourage you to figure out a way to do it that's healthy and safe for you and for people. You know what I mean? There's that would be a great thing if you can figure that out. Yeah.
Yes. Well, if anybody on this group has any ideas as to the best way to use that tool as an opportunity to it's like, I remember when my son was in third grade, and I had to teach my son the word one-upping. Here's what one-upping means, because he had this little situation at school, and he came home and he's like, Mommy, Bobby is one-upping me again. And it gives that empowerment to be able to articulate in a way that others can understand you.
Right.
And I feel like the verbiage that is necessary for us to convey needs to be so much more used. Like gaslighting, if I say that to anybody that's not in our group, they don't have any idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Gaslighting
Right.
happens, in a classroom.
Right. Yeah, that is a tough one. You're right. You're right. There's a listen, hon, there is a wide open door is to the ways in which you, if your heart is to help people from similar situations, the door's wide open. There's always a need, right? There's always a need.
Well, that's what I'm hoping. So if anybody thinks of anything, and I would really appreciate it. But you are amazing, and
Thank you.
I will definitely try to watch as much and as often as I can. Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling. Appreciate that.
All right. Thank
Right
you.
on.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah, guys, this is one of the things that coming out of narcissistic abuse, as you're healing and you've healed, you may want to just take this information and help other people. That is a great thing. And like I told her, the door is wide open to be able to do that. We're just scratching the surface on being able to help other people. And so, please, when you have an idea or a concept or something that you believe can really be beneficial to help others, then use that. Use that, right? Help other people with it. That's what it's all about. And we have a call from Ohio. You're live on the Royal We.
Hi, this is Jenny.
Hi, Jenny.
Hi. I'm calling because I still feel like I am stuck in the cycle.
Okay.
I was my boyfriend again and I were living together. I started realizing some of the signs. My 17-year-old daughter had actually said a few things. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized I'm walking on eggshells. I can't be comfortable in my own home. And I had started looking into things and seeing all of this gaslighting and crazy making, and where I was losing money, and him saying it wasn't, that I was crazy. I must have lost it. And there's no way you had, $27 there. There was only $7, when I never even said that amount. So things just started kind of adding up.
Right.
And just a lot of things like just little jabs, little put downs. Nothing I did was right. If I was standing, why are you standing that way? Why are you looking that way? Or, the compliments, put downs. So I did get to a point where we weren't getting along, and he had moved out. It was the home that we had picked out together, but in my name. And had to make it his idea to leave. And since then, it has been I watched your guilt. A lot of it is guilt, why we go back to shame and guilt. I feel like, he's the great person, and then all of a sudden just flips into somebody I don't know. There's picking, just kind of nitpicking, ignoring all of these signs, all of the things that we talk about with narcissists.
Right.
Now and I try to go back, even though I have that feeling like I miss him. I've done no contact for a month, and I get the feeling that
right.
Something's not right, and then I end up going back, feeling bad. I love him. Maybe I was wrong, and now it's at the point where I've called him out on some of the things, and there's little picks at things that will ignore me, or make a compliment followed by you are the most, you look so beautiful, but if you had more money, you'd be able to buy a dress that was nicer.
Okay.
Or trying to get me to buy things. And
okay.
But so now there's the ignoring.
Okay.
We'll get back together, and it's now I put it off, and then I feel like I am the one blowing up now.
Right.
There'll be these little jabs, little button pushing.
Right.
And then I go off and point out all of these things and say, I can't do this anymore. I'm the only one. I come to you. You don't come to me. I leave. I feel strong. I feel confident. And then I feel like maybe I'm the narcissist, because I hear all of this.
They absolutely turn you into that. They turn you into that. Okay. This is why it's so important to get out of these relationships. Part of the reason you want to get out, I'm going to be making a video on this week, and it's going to be out this next week, and I'm going to be talking about peace, okay? This concept of peace. What is peace? The Bible talks about peace, Blessed are the peacemakers, right? And there's
Yeah.
scriptures in the Bible that say you walk into a house and bring your peace, and if they don't have peace, then let your peace return to you. Leave and kick the dust off your feet. It's important to understand what peace is. Peace is something that you have within yourself. You cannot create peace outside of yourself, right? You can't walk out in the middle of a storm and create peace in a storm and have the wind and the storm obey you. It doesn't work like that. Now, you yourself can have peace, and you're best if you just hightail it out of there, get the heck out of the storm, and you get to live another day, and you still have your peace. Okay. Same thing when you're dealing with abusive narcissists or any type of toxic environment. You cannot go in there and create peace. You can promote peace all you want. You can promote it by demonstrating peace. Peace is calmness, it's love, it's softness, it's everything that you want to be, and you have the gift, you have this peace. But you cannot create it in another person, and you especially cannot fight for peace. And this is something that struck me as I'm working on this video, and I'm giving away too much details of this video now. I'm spoiling the whole thing, but it's important to understand this. You can't fight for peace. That's a contradiction. You can't. Do you follow that? You cannot fight for peace. You can fight for freedom. You can fight for other things, but you cannot fight for peace because those two don't exist together. Fight and peace are the opposite. So what happens is you think you're fighting for peace, but you're not. You're actually exchanging and giving up your peace in exchange for hostility, violence, rage, as a result of staying there with an abusive narcissist. There is no peace in that environment because there's no peace inside of a narcissist. That's what makes them narcissistically abusive. They wrestle all the time. They're filled with anger and rage and hatred and bitterness and frustration. You just listen to them. I'm angry. That's their mantra. I'm angry. I'm just angry. There's no peace there. And so you and all the peace you have in the world cannot fight to change that. All you can do is step in and promote it. But when it doesn't work, what's the Bible say to do? Let the peace return to you and get the heck out. The longer you stay involved and try to fight with them, the more you're going to lose your peace. You're going to give it up. And then you will start looking like them. I encourage you to watch my water demonstration video because it works just like that. It's by far the most popular video that I have on my YouTube channel. It's got over 100-something thousand views, and it just took off, and I had no idea that it would, but I used a demonstration using water, and there's a clean water, and there's muddy water, and what I do is I just go back and forth between the clean water and the muddy water, pouring it into one another. And what happens? Does the muddy water get cleaner because of the clean water? No. The clean water gets muddy because of the muddy water. That's all that happens. You cannot pour back and forth with a dirty, hostile spirit and remain unscathed. It's not going to work out. You're going to start to transform and morph into that. This is where you start to believe that you're the one that's becoming a narcissist. This is where you start to develop the hostile and violent fantasies. This is where you start to develop that rage and that anger and that frustration because you're trying to fight to create peace. Can't do that. It's a contradiction. Yeah. So you got to choose one or the other. Do you want to remain in your peace? If you do, you better get out. You better block this dude 100% because you know it's only going to be a fight. Or you can choose, well, I'll let peace go and I'll see what happens down the pathway of fighting.
Yeah. And what happened? Like, we live so close, like 5 minutes, and our kids play sports in the same place. And
right.
He'll last time tried to come to me, and it was so much guilt, like, I'm sorry, and I don't deserve you, and I know I'm bad, or it'll be, this is what you did to me, and like plays on those strings. And how do you avoid someone when it's like you have to see them time?
Well, I would say get rid of that have to. Get rid of that have to. Whatever it takes to get rid of that have to. You know, you don't have to do anything. Right? I know we like to, I because of my certain situation, my circumstance with the abusive narcissist, I felt like you did. because I dealt with certain family members. I have to be around. I'm going to have to see them. No, I don't. I don't have to do anything. I don't even have to call them family. I don't. Right. And
Right.
so, I mean, so really, when it comes down to it, you don't. Right. So we have to get rid of this have to. Now, is there a chance that you'll come across them? Yes. But do you have to stop? No. Do you have to say anything? No. Can you be nice and cordial and throw a smile? Hi. And keep walking? Yes. But that's got to come out of your own cordialness. That's got to come out of your own kindness. That has to be a result of who you are, not because you feel like you have to. Does that make sense?
Understand.
Yeah.
It makes complete sense.
It's
Yes.
I know it's a difficult concept to grasp, but this is what we all need to start to work towards and strive for. We have to get rid of this. I have to be this certain way. I have to be nice. I have to talk. No, no, no. I'm going to smile because I'm a person who likes to smile, but that's it. I'm going to be too busy to talk about anything, and you should be. If you're there for your kids' games, your heart should be 150,000,000% into your kids' game. It should not be with this guy who you know is going to say some ridiculous, jargon of, oh, I really messed up. I really messed up this time, huh? I shouldn't have done that. I'm a bad boy. Will you please join me for drinks tonight? No, don't fall for that nonsense. Be done, right?
Okay.
You okay?
I am. Yes. I just feel I feel that peace when I leave,
Right.
and it feels so good. Like when I get away from them and I'm like by my kids and maybe we're not talking and that peace comes over me. So that feeling is how it's supposed to be.
Right.
I just like I got pulled back in so quickly, and it was like I had asked, like, okay, we should work on this, when I knew everything inside of me was saying, no, don't do that. Why are you
Right.
doing this? Why are you trying this when he's saying, okay, we're not even working out? Because I know as soon as I agree with him, then he'll try to come back. It's like
Sure.
always just a way to keep me talking or keep me going. Or
Listen, these abusive narcissists only want certain things. That's it. He wants to use you for sex. He wants for your food, for money, a place to stay, whatever the case may be. And this needs to be in the back of your mind. Here comes the user. Here he comes. He's going to give me a sob story of how he messed up, and he's going to try to work his way into the house and down my pants tonight or this week. Okay. And you yourself also have to be in a place where you don't feel like you're so lonely that you need that. Right? Because you don't need that. That's not going to satisfy. If you're feeling lonely and you're like, well, I am feeling lonely and it would be nice to have that. No, don't feel that way. Pick up the phone. Pick up the phone. Pick up the phone. Call me. Chat with somebody. If you have friends, call them. There's so much that you can do to not feel lonely, right? But you've got to get out from under this dark place with this man, because that's all it is, and that's all that is going to be offered there is darkness, right?
yeah. Okay.
You'll be okay.
Thank you.
And you're welcome to contact me
Yeah.
anytime you need, right? If you are struggling, if you feel like you're going to run into him, and or if he's trying to contact you and you feel torn, because it's hard, it is hard, and you're wondering if you should give him another chance or whatever, contact somebody. You can call me, call a friend of yours, visit a church, do something new, and just take some time. Don't make an instant decision, right? Based on emotions. Narcissists are great at pulling those emotional strings, right? From now on, moving forward, you need to use your wisdom. What's this going to lead to? He's crying now. He wants to get in my bedroom tonight, and then the next day he's going to be yelling again, right? You got to use your wisdom from your experience of the situation to tell you what that cycle is going to look like all over again. And you are worth so much more than that. Okay?
Okay. Thank you, Heaven.
All right. Thank you for calling. You going to be okay? I know there's a lot of people here.
Yes.
Stay here on the chat. Don't go away. Stay here on the chat. If you haven't popped in there and said hi yet, say hi, because there's a lot of people I'm sure that would love to follow up and tell you things that I wasn't able to, and encourage you in more ways. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. All right. And the phone line is still open. We'll go with one more phone call, guys, before we call it a night. That was a good phone call, and it's I can understand that place where it's difficult. You're still caught in going back and forth. We all get stuck in that back and forth place for a little while. It takes a long time to finally make that decision that you have to move on. It takes a while. And so that's a place where you need the most support, right? Because you're just drawing out that pain of staying involved in the relationship that you have no business being in, right? All right, we got a call from Pennsylvania. This will be our last call for the night. Thank you for calling.
Hi, this is Tracy. I talked to you the other night, and
Tracy,
I slept so well that night. So thank you. Yeah.
How are you tonight?
So I'm doing really well. I went and got a radical new haircut this morning, and
radical.
That was great.
Cool.
Yeah. I told the girl, she's like, "What do you want?" I said, "I don't know. New year, new me. Everything I'm doing bold. What do you want to do?" And she did it. Like it's short. It looks awesome. I love it.
Wow.
It's powerful.
Well, awesome.
It's
Go you. Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's been 2.5 years now since I got away from my ex-husband, who was a malignant narcissist, and I didn't see it coming, all that, I'm doing really well with that. I've gotten so much self-help and, binging on YouTube for this entire week. But I mentioned the other night, in doing all that, I had a total realization that my mother's a narcissist. I've been raised by a narcissist my whole life. And all these things I blocked out in my childhood. Like I don't remember most of my childhood from probably like under the age of 12. I don't remember. I have no memories. But this week, little things are coming. Yeah, she said that to me. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what I'm getting at is I have a daughter who's almost 19. I raised her all by myself except for the 5 years I was married, and I'm still raising her by myself. So she saw the abuse that I suffered while I was married. She witnessed it. She saw it. She was there supporting me, but she couldn't do anything. So now that I'm understanding that my mother is the narcissist, I've been the scapegoat. You have the golden child sitting over there, and the other one, I don't know what you title him except for he's been drunk for 40 years.
He was just there.
And they have to keep
just
him
there.
that well.
Right.
They keep him in line.
He coped the best way he could. Right. Sounds like he coped the only way he knew how.
And no one, my mother would never want him to sober up because that keeps him right where she wants him.
Right.
And I figured all this out in the last couple of days. And
can I help you out with you said something that's very profound that I want that people need to know. Okay. You just said something very, very profound. It just stuck out. Your mom, catch this now. Your mom was okay with your son, with your brother being an alcoholic, because it kept him in a place where she wanted him. This is typical of narcissists, right? Very sad. Do you know where that place is where they want somebody else? They want somebody else, even if it's their own children. They want them to be in a constant need, a place where they need them. This is where narcissists believe they have the power. You know what I mean? You need me. You need me. Stay drunk. You need me. Stay drunk. You're an alcoholic. That's fine. And then they become an enabler, right? It's very sad.
He's 52 years old. They pay his bills. She takes food over to him. I mean, it's like he's 14. Like she's still mothering him, and they're both good with it.
It's hard
I'm
because
the oldest.
I
have a strong personality, and I think that was always a thing, because I did challenge her all my life, and I always thought, like, why is she jealous of me, and why is this, and why, but it's all making sense to me. I totally see the picture.
You did not bow down
Now,
to her, her
right, and
everything. Yeah.
So the last 20-some years of my life, I've been setting boundaries. No, and always met resistance. And it would be like, okay, well, if that's what you want, the little looks. And, I can remember being 48 years old and her like, did you go to church today? Well, that's between me and God, not really you. But, it's just weird. And now I understand it's not weird. It's narcissism. I get that now.
Right.
So while I'm really kind of looking for some solid direction from you, and actually what you said the other night about family and the biblical principle that Jesus looked and said, who is my mother, and pointed to his brothers, like, that's so freeing for me. She's not my mother. She's, the origin family or whatever, whatever like that. So I will start referring to her by a first name basis, and I'll be fine with that. Mm-hmm. But this 19-year-old daughter I have, who is smart, and she's, she has such good discernment, and she has such good intuition. And when I started saying the other day, like, my mother's a narcissist, she looked at me, she's like, she is. And she knows the guilt trip. She's done it to my daughter all her life. Are you wearing that? Oh, and crying because her kids don't get along, and it's all about her. And so my daughter has a relationship with my parents.
Okay.
I don't want to interfere with that, because that's not fair. She's smart. She knows now what's going on. They've been turning on her since she was about 15 or 16, slowly, just like they've done to me.
Okay.
Since I backed away, they've treated her like they used to treat me.
Mm-hmm.
So how do I support my daughter?
Just be there for her.
The way that's healthy for my daughter.
Just be there for her. Just be there for her. That's it. So, first of all, I applaud you, right? You are you are super empath. You truly are, right? And you're at a place where I had to develop this. So first of all, let me tell you that I resonate with you. I understand what it is you're doing, right? Because in my situation, I have, because of the nature of the situation, the family dynamics, I've had to learn how to allow somebody very close to me to have a relationship that they need to have and not interfere with people who are abusive towards me. Okay. So I get it. Right. And I've had to be okay with that. And I've heard people say, oh, don't do that. They're going to turn them against you and blah, 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 blah. And sometimes at some point you worry about, no. First of all, I don't give narcissists that much power, and you don't have to either. Your mom is a narcissist. Don't make her more powerful than she is. You are absolutely in a good place to give your daughter that trust. Your daughter will respect you for that. She'll honor you. She'll remember that you gave her that trust, no matter what. Okay. And the fact that
I did.
Go ahead.
I did ask her the other day, when all this was like really just like coming to my full view in my mind, and when I started saying to her, like, remember I told you like this and this, and she knows how my mother is. She's been around my mother her whole life.
Right.
I asked her two things. I said, please respect me enough, like when you go over there and they start, picking at her, how's your mom? Because I'm no contact. I'm straight up no contact forever and ever.
Okay.
I said, there are two things that I'm please respect me and only say, she's good, she's busy. And they'll come at you in other ways and ask it again. She's good, she's busy.
Right.
And she'll do that, but I don't want her to be collateral damage when my mother realizes I'm no contact.
Yeah, no, like I said, just be there for her. So be there for your daughter. Okay. And what that looks like is this. You don't have to preemptively, don't turn your daughter into a pawn piece and into a game and almost to where you're sending her over there with this mindset of she's got to take notes and she's got to, I would stay away from that. The way I would approach it is say, hun, you know how your grandma is. If there's ever anything that you find rude, offensive, demeaning, devaluing to you, to me, to anybody, any of your friends, come and talk to me. We'll talk about it because I know it hurts. And then give her the chance in her own time to do that. Okay. and
Okay.
she'll appreciate that, right? They like to know they have a safe place to go and talk. If you don't, you run the risk of possibly grandma being the one to say, "Oh, come to me and talk." If your mom is this and is constantly putting pressure on you, and she's acting very strange in her no contact, and we don't understand.
Well,
You know how narcissists can
yeah,
do that type of stuff.
yeah. She asked my daughter last week, you know, is your mom okay? Is she drinking again? And
Yes.
my daughter said that
Yes.
there was almost a glint in her eye that
Right.
I believe she
Yeah.
was hopeful I was drinking, you know, and
Right.
my daughter's smart. My daughter's smart, you know,
That's
but
it. That's it. That's
I
what they
want to
do.
support her. I
That's
love her
yes.
unconditionally. I'm not a
Yes.
narcissist.
Right. Right. And that's what they
So,
do. That's what, so you have to know that that's what they, is your mom okay? And I've got that. Are they okay? Narcissists do that. They will attack you, demean you, devalue you, buckle you down, and then go, they're acting so strange. I don't understand. We love them. I can
oh
imagine your
yeah.
grandma saying that to your daughter. I love
Oh,
her.
she said that. Yeah. Well,
I just,
we
I
love
don't,
your mom.
I don't know why she just stops coming around. I don't know why
Yeah.
she creates problems like this for everybody. Typical
Yeah.
narcissist jargon. So you just tell your daughter, listen, stand firm on your boundaries. No, I can't be around her because of this, and that, the things that she said. You can. If she ever says anything appropriate, you're welcome to talk to me about it. Just be very matter of fact. Children, like you said, she's smart. She understands more than you think. So you can be very matter of fact with her. And even if, but try to avoid using her as like she's going to get that playing with from your grandma. So try not to do that as much as
Mhm.
possible. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Well, thank you
Yeah,
for
I just
calling.
don't want them having more information, but I don't want to put my daughter in the middle. And that was my question.
Right.
How do I support her without putting her in the middle? My mother will do that enough. I don't need to.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, thank you, Kevin. I'm praying for you. Praying for everyone that's watching. This is a demonic force that's facing our nation, I believe, right now, along with all the other things you can watch on the news.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
my perspective is Satan is running out of time, and he knows it. And he's going after people like me who have had a blessing of God over me all my life, or I would not still be sitting here right now had
Amen.
God not been protecting me my whole life.
Right.
And he knew who I was going to be raised by. And he gave me a gift inside, not just me, but all of us. All of us that are in this room have a gift inside from God to protect us and get us where
Right.
he needs us to be. And I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. I'm just feeling like, feeling the Holy Spirit every moment of my life. And,
Good.
I'm grateful. So if I had to go through it to get here, but I
Right on.
appreciate you.
Oh, thank you so much. What a powerful word of encouragement for everybody. I appreciate that. Thank you. Have a great night. And
Great.
guys, thank you so much for joining the Royal We tonight, Friday night. Of all the places you could have been, you could have been out. You're here, so you're serious about healing, and you are in a great community of people who are just there to lift one another up. So thank you for all of you guys in the community tonight. I want you guys to just have a great weekend. We will not be live tomorrow or Sunday. We'll be back Monday night, 10 o'clock Central Standard Time. That's 10 o'clock p.m. So if you didn't get on the phone tonight, you can call on Monday night. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Once again, the course is available. The Royal We course is available. It's in the description box below this video. You can check that out at any time. And thank you guys so much. Also, for those of you who do want to donate to the show, you are welcome to donate. I don't do chat donates or anything like that, or super chats or whatever they call them, because I don't want to interrupt what you guys have going on in the forum there. But you are welcome to donate to the donut. I'm obviously tired too, guys. This has been a great week. But you're welcome to donate on the home page of the Royal We channel. You can donate through PayPal up there. All right, guys, thank you so much. Have a great weekend, and we will see you Monday, 10 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on the Royal We Live. All righty. Good night, guys.